Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM19 story, part of the Furniture with me, Daniel. It's season 16, episode 10, and today we're back for the final game of the season, and we're back for a party as well. We wrapped up our first Premier League title in the last game, and we're back to celebrate at Stamford Bridge today. We're going to see our side lift the Premier League trophy, regardless of the result at the end of the game, so that's something we can certainly look forward to, and we can discuss our summer plans with a little bit of relaxation. But before we get into the final game, we have got one proud record to defend. If we look at the team stats at the bottom of the screen, we have the best record for goals conceded in the division, first on 18 goals, less than one every other game, and we've got the fourth highest for goals scored too, so certainly something we could add to in this one. We've got the joint best record in terms of games lost over the season, ourselves and Tottenham on just 3, and nobody else in the league has lost less than 7 games, which certainly shows why we're so far clear. But there's not too much I want to talk about pre-match today, just to celebrate the fact we're champions. If you have missed any of the season so far, as we're in a second week on the new schedule, please do go back to the start of the season to catch up. Lots of new experiences and different competitions, and a couple of different cup finals along the way too. A record transfer and plenty else off the pitch. It's certainly been a dramatic ride. But we are going to do our usual end of season review after this game, as well as having another look at our big transfer for the summer to see how he's getting on at his current club, as his club Fulham still have an outside chance of getting relegated in the Premier League. They've played their last game already and they're just 2 points clear of the drop zone. So unless two of those other 3 sides are playing each other, Fulham are in grave danger today. Tottenham are 1 point behind us, but they have now played their final game, and we'll be hoping that we can avoid defeat too, to take ourselves towards 90 points, and if we get the win, even past it. So let's go and have a look at our lineup for this one. We haven't played any games off camera, no one's come to us unhappy yet, and only a couple have asked for new deals, but we're not going to worry about that at the moment. We'll do that off camera in the summer. So let's go and have a look at our lineup, see who's favourites for the game. Chelsea are actually slight favourites according to the media, as they have won 3 games on the bounce now. We've had a couple of boring 0-0s on camera recently, but they were 2 crucial ones in winning us the title. The Everton one to wrap it up last time, and the Spurs one that pretty much sealed it beforehand. Our young centre-half Torquay Hull's back today, but Talasse's still out long-term with his broken leg. 2 to 4 months and he's really starting to decline, and I think that's got to be a priority in the summer. We'll try and move on Cisse once he's back from injury. It's a ruthless business and Richard Quirk may want to go as well, so that's certainly something to think about in the summer. Chelsea have got the better head-to-head record, and Zidane's side will be hoping to secure 3rd place. I'm not sure if they've guaranteed Champions League football yet, so let's quickly go and have a look at the Premier League table. I'm hoping they'll already have secured it, so then maybe play a slightly weaker side today. They're guaranteed top 4 football. Liverpool already played their 38th game. They've finished 5th on 73 points. Man City can leapfrog them, but they can't reach Chelsea in 3rd. So no move potentially other than to 4th, with Arsenal having the opportunity to overtake them. But let's have a look at our lineup for this one, and we have rotated a little bit. I've tried to bring in 1 or 2 wonder kids, and some players that haven't had too many opportunities. Shane Mason-Smith is the other one I would have brought in, but I don't know what to do at the moment with him. He really has annoyed us with his attitude in recent months, but today I guess is his opportunity to prove us wrong. So he'll come into the starting 11. Richard Quirk and Zittini are in at left fullback. He's a wonder kid who hasn't had much football this year, but he is continuing to improve off the pitch. We've got centre-halves Mon Iversen and Torquay Hull, Norwegian partnership in international football, so I'm sure they'll do well for us again today, though Torquay Hull's missing out on match practice. It means that McDonald gets a rare rest. I think he started nearly every other league game, just one he's missed this season in 37, and he of course scored that crucial goal at Aston Villa. We've got the usual midfield three of Bakanez, Omar and Keita, who continue to build a brilliant partnership. Dimitri Lapin is struggling for sharpness, so he is just going to be on the bench today, and he's joined with a midfield option of Ray Probert, who we'll try and give an appearance to if possible. He's made a couple in the Premier League already this season, 5 off the bench in fact, and it'd be lovely to get a homegrown player on the pitch alongside Richard Quirk, who's unhappy. We've brought Yaladian in on the right. He was always intended to be the first choice, but but he hasn't had the best season in truth, but we'd like him to get off the mark in terms of goals, so hopefully he'll get an opportunity to do so. Kozul continues on the left. He's been absolutely brilliant this season, and he really deserves his reward. He's come in for Silla, who threw a tantrum, and he's been an absolutely able deputy. And then Andrade's up front on his own, with Lee Rutherford still on the bench. The likes of Sousa, Rafael and Moraes are there as well, but at the moment it's all about focusing on the positives. We might bring Stuart John onto the bench as well actually. He's returning to fitness after a tight groin, and I think he'll be fine to make a substitute appearance. But let's go and get into this last game of the season against Chelsea. Just enjoy the occasion. The results are relevant, and it's rare we have that at the start of an episode. We can just enjoy and talk about the summer, and hopefully look forward to seeing some of these players. As we get into the game, it's a 4-1-4-1 for Chelsea, a little bit more defensive than usual. We are going to adapt our tactic today, just because we're playing a different sort of side. We've told the lads to prove a point and put in a good display, and most of them are motivated by that as well. We're going to drop our tempo ever so slightly. I want to make sure we keep the ball a bit better, and as a result of that we're going to drop our tempo, and we're also going to go to a balanced mentality with slightly less attacking fullbacks. It's an area Chelsea have hurt us in the past, so we want to make sure we avoid that today. Coutinho's a more defensive minded player anyway, so hopefully it will suit him perfectly. Let's go and see what the tunnel interview's about, as we've also got to talk transfer budgets during this episode. We've been handed a massive one by the Torquay United board as Andrade kicks off to Baccanes. Out to Richard Quirk and now Keita. Omar in the centre circle. He plays a 1-2 with Keita again, and Andrade can get it to the left. Kozul running off the fullback, who gets the interception in, and Radenko puts it out for a Torquay throw. I'm not sure if we'll see it on camera. We don't, as the Richard Quirk highlight ends. It's a corner in for Chelsea to the back stick. Mason Smith makes a good double save. The second one to smother it from the keeper's feet and ensure the score remains 0-0. But it's Chelsea coming forward now with Beachy. He's coming into the left-hand side, lays it off to Green, who slides it in, and we put the fullbacks into more defensive roles, but unfortunately Richard Quirk's lost his man there. Really isn't performing too well at the moment, and even though we want to keep him here desperately, he really helps the homegrown squad quota. If he's not going to sort out his attitude, we're going to have to let him leave the club. It's Beachy on the right hand side for Chelsea. They're really threatening to overrun us at the moment, and we are going to go back to a positive mentality as Chelsea are having all the play there. 6 shots or now 7 in 20 minutes, and we've not even had a shot on goal. Is Andrade with a free kick into the wall, out for a throw on the left. Why we've seen that highlight I'm not quite sure. Maybe it's just to celebrate the fact we've had a shot. With no pressure on the lads today, it's been an awful performance, and why some of them are nervous or anxious, I just really don't understand. There's nothing to be nervous about today. You're coming here to enjoy yourselves, you don't need to get a point, you pick up the Premier League title, and maybe some of them have just gone on holiday. It's 2-0 to Chelsea now as Alfredo puts it in, and we're going to dig into the lads a bit here, as they're not really putting in an effort. It's absolutely pathetic, and even though the result didn't matter, I at least wanted a half-decent performance. Richard Quirk with the worst rating on the pitch again, and I think these last 2 games have probably made my mind up for the summer. The reason we've got a bit more flexibility in the transfer window is that we have been given a budget of 130 million, a second successive year in the Champions League group stages, and that really seems to have helped our board out. We're going to ask the lads to show some more in the second half. That performance has really disappointed me. I wanted to at least put up a fight, or the lads to show a bit of expression there. To not have a shot on target really is a bit disappointing. We're picking up the Premier League trophy on possibly our worst performance of the season. We'll give it 5 or 10 more minutes before bringing on subs, and hopefully the young blood will be a bit fresher. It's Sokolik in the holding role to Gustavo. Back to the central midfielders 25 yards out. Into Green, who's free again. Richard Quirk's coming off, I've had enough. 6.3, and he's made another mistake there. That's going to be the end of his performance. I've got no one to bring on at fullback really, so it might have to be Kyle McDonnell. Mon Everson will go out to the right hand side, but Richard Quirk has probably played his last game. Really disappointing for a player we admired, but he's gone downhill in the last few years, and he's let his poor attitude affect him. Almost reminds me of Saido Berahino, although of course he achieved a bit more in his career first. Quirk, he did manage to get us towards European football before he threw his toys out the pram. Andrade's having a shocker up front as well, as he hits the wall with another free kick, though that ball in's very good to Yaladian, though he misses the ball and it's cleared away. We're going to take Andrade off for Stuart John, and Ray Probert's going to come on as well. Yaladian's nervous and he's been really poor, possibly our biggest flop of the series. It's a throw on the left for Coutinho, long ball into the box there, DeLuca heads away as far as Kozul as it falls back to him again. It's Bacanes in the box to Probert, he gets it to Omar, but his shot's blocked and it's out to the left, Coutinho with a chance to cross. It's a terrible delivery and it's cleared away, Beachy can now come forward for Chelsea. They've gone to a 4-4-2 and more attacking, and he's certainly making things harder for us. So we're just going to go back to our normal tactic now, and fingers crossed we can at least create chances. So there we go, the fullback's back on attacking duties, back to a higher tempo, all of the attacking elements we had before, and hopefully they'll pay dividends. We're going to go very attacking and try and score a goal for the away fans, and ask the lads to show some passion, as this effort has been pathetic. You can't blame them after the season for being on holiday, particularly mentally after 37 tough games. They've done brilliantly to win the Premier League title, but what a disappointing way to finish. It's Stuart John on halfway holding it up. Finds another substitute in Probert, he's cutting in from the right hand side, not his most natural position. Omar shoots from 30 yards out though, brilliant save by the keeper, and is tipped behind for a corner on the left hand side, an outswinger to be taken by Omar. It's headed away once and twice for Chelsea. They've won every second ball in this game, something that's particularly crucial at this level. The set piece is cleared and they fall for a Chelsea player. Green cuts in from the left hand side again, and Moniverson's not faring much better out there, but thankfully Green misses this opportunity. No hat-trick for him at this stage, but I wouldn't rule it out just yet. It's a free kick for Omar on the left, big delivery in towards Hull. He's come in and not had a great game either, maybe just not quite match fit, but he's not made a difference to most of the goals that have come from the other side of the pitch. It's Green who's offside, in fact his shot hits Beachy, and that prevents a fourth goal, which really would have started to become embarrassing. We're back with the ball loose on the right hand side, Ray Probert picking it up to Moniverson, Cater and Bacanes play a 1-2, Bacanes has a couple of efforts blocked, and in the end it's behind for a corner. It's going to be taken by Omar, the Brazilian midfielder, but again it's poor and straight to DeLuca. He clears away to Alfredo, and now Chelsea have a 2-on-1. It's an overhit pass to Cecchini. Casca gets it on the left and it's blocked, and he's out for a throw on the Chelsea left. Right by the byline they get another attack. It's Omar with a corner at the other end. McDonald nods it down and now Kozul bobbling around all over the place there. But every time the corner's cleared Chelsea can counter. We've gone very attacking and that's one of the negatives. We end up with a 2-on-1 at the back. So we may just drop that back slightly now, even though we are now creating more chances. 14 shots to Chelsea's 17, and that's not bad considering at the break we barely managed a shot on goal all game. Vladimir, our former players, come on in the middle as Mason Smith makes a good save to his right. I'm still got the jury out on him as well. We could make a profit, which would probably tempt me, as he's not got the best attitude despite being a very competent goalkeeper. 2 minutes of stoppage time played, just a few more seconds remaining as Ray Probert's got the ball on the right hand side. He finds Moniverson and Bacanes. At least the substitutes have done pretty well. McDonald's made an impact at the back, and that's just how important he is to our side, as the other two have done okay as well. It's a 3-0 victory for Chelsea, and again we don't see ourselves lift the title. We didn't see it after the last game when it was sealed. Where's the animation gone for the league title? I really wanted to see the trophy lifted. But either way, it was a disappointing performance. The lads need to regroup when they're on holiday, because it's going to be much tougher tests to come next year as we try to go on a run in the Champions League. So a terrible end to the season on the pitch, but it didn't really mean much in the end. We guaranteed the title in 37 games, and we were exceptional until this final one. The Blues strike lucky according to the media, despite it being a relatively even game. A bad birthday celebration for myself, but it's not too bad knowing we've already won the title. Zinedine Zidane admires us greatly, that's something that's always nice to see, and we'll deal with the press conference off camera, as it's not the most important part at the moment. Maddie Cater's being watched for the Spain squad, that'd be some great recognition for him. But let's finish with our end of season review and see which players have been the stars for us. So let's start in terms of appearances. 47 apiece for Omar and Cater, both with 43 starts there, and the same amount of starts for Moraes and McDonald, who have been stalwarts for us at the back. Then Stojanovic with 40, Andrade 39, and Gerben Bacanes on 38. Andrade's really been a disappointment this season, after a strong first year last time round, so I'm not quite sure what we'll do up front in the summer, as we are a little bit short for goals in that area. Torquay Hull was a revelation on his first year, though he's going to have competition next season. season, as we've got the big money signing coming from Fulham, who will remind you of his profile in a moment. Talasise and Diogo Sousa were the stars, two players we didn't expect to be first choice this year, but due to the strop thrown by Richard Quirk and the poor form of Yeladian, these two have made it into the first team and both averaged well above a 7. They've been absolute superstars and we can't thank them enough, though it's a shame Talasise's times end with a big injury. Then on to goals, we've spread them pretty evenly this year, just one player reaching double figures, the Brazilian central midfielder Omar. He got 12 and then there's 4 lads on 9, Andrade the first choice striker, then Sousa, Keita and Kozul. Hull the centre half is next on 5, Silla and Rutherford on 4, and Tariq Apoku got 2 the other striker, with a whole host of players with 2 or 3. Then to assist, we've got 2 players in double figures again, this time Omar who scored 12 goals too, 13 assists for him as well, and in Sousa the joint second top scorer, he got 11 assists to add to that. Keita got 7 and Talasise 5, Yeladian 4 in his first year at the club, though he's been a bitter disappointment, especially after spending 88 million. He's still got a very big value though, so we may be able to earn that money back. Ramos, Silla and Kozul all up there as well, though 2 of those 3 are unhappy. Then average rating, the star is Torquay Hull. He came in and was a revelation at the back, and he's now rated 4-star ability at centre half after becoming an elite player following a season of first team football. Omar's got a brilliant rating as well, as you'd expect for the most goals and assists at the club, and Kyle McDonald, the other centre half, really helped build a solid defensive base. A brilliant leader in defensive areas, as some other players round off the 7s. Interestingly, our average ratings are much lower than previous years. Often we've had the majority of our team in the 7s, this year only about a third of them, but despite that we've won the Premier League title, and it pretty much goes with what we've said this year. We've not been as attractive and entertaining as previous seasons, we've not really played the best football. I couldn't argue that we've looked convincing through the most part, but we have managed to get over the line and just win those ugly games by the odd goal. Something we've been guilty of not doing in the past, and we've been the masters of it in the Premier League this season. And maybe winning ugly has been the catalyst for success over a long old season. That's probably what you've got to do more. But a really brilliant season which ends with a Premier League title, despite a disastrous performance on the last day. Looking at the squad there, especially with the unhappy players, what do you think I should be doing in the summer? Where do you think we need to improve? And which ones of the unhappy players should we try to keep? Please bear in mind the homegrown rules as well. Richard Quirk the only one homegrown at the club, alongside Ray Probert who will reach 22 next year, so we'll need to register him as well. The likes of Ramos and Recchio won't be affected. Shane Mason-Smith is homegrown in the country though. That's the whole reason we signed him in the first place, though his attitude absolutely stinks. But if you did enjoy this episode and seeing us confirm the Premier League title, please do put a thumbs up on the video. It's 4 out of 6 for the competitions now, as we chase the 6 we wanted at the start of the series. It really has been a good run in the last couple of years, and things are finally coming together. I do feel like this squad is starting to get itchy feet though, particularly with the 3 or 4 that are unhappy. We're struggling to keep the squad players on side, and a few of the first teamers are letting us down. But we will go and finish on the screen of our new boy, the first summer signing you'll see in the next episode. We'll obviously be back on Sunday for the transfer special, and that's when we'll meet our other new signings. So Nsingi the centre half, a fee raising to over 60 million. He's been brilliant for Fulham this year, but a really solid rating of 6.9, and that's for a side that's been leaking goals. So another one that could become a star, but let me know who your favourite player is in the comments, and hopefully it'll be the same as mine when I reveal it in the next episode. Subscribe to the channel for daily FM19 content from this Torquay United story. We continue with the new schedule until FM20, so every Sunday to Thursday at 4:30 we'll have a video from this Torquay United save. We'll be back on Sunday with the transfer special, and hopefully it'll be an exciting one. We'll also have news on the channel over the next few weeks of our plans for FM20, and we'll react to some of the announcements for the game. Hopefully there'll be some big new features. There's also 3 episodes a week from my Cricket 19 career. That's every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday at midday. A massive thank you to everyone that continues to follow that series, as well as the Ashes Test playthrough we did beforehand. Then finally our Snooker 19 career continues. That's every Friday at 4:30. We're currently in the last event of the series in that one, as we try to emulate Ronnie O'Sullivan by winning the biggest prize in snooker. The World Championships is our current event, and we're trying to go on a run to the final. But a massive thanks for watching this one and following along for another season. I really do appreciate it, and I hope to see you next time for another transfer special, as we have to sort out some of these unhappy players. Will we have big money replacements come in? I hope you'll join me on Sunday to find out.